Hi everyone, today's lesson is about finding distance in midpoint. We start to find the distance first. Here are the formulas we are going to use for finding distance. This is equal to square root 2 minus a plus y2 minus y1 squared. These are the steps we can get through. First step is we have to identify x1, y1, x2, y2. X represents for x coordinates and y represents for y coordinates. Then we need to plug into the formulas and then find the values with the radical. Radical means square root. So I want to make a note on here. Radical means square root. So I'm going to show you examples for one. Find the distance between C. First of all, we have to find the coordinates of A and C. So A is 3 and negative 7. Point C is 0 with the x coordinates and 3 for y coordinates. And our first step is we have to actually labeling those coordinates. x1, y1, x2, and y2. Then we need to plug it in distance formula. So d is equal to square root 0 minus 3 square plus 3 minus 7 square. Remember guys, when we have negatives, it turns positive. So I will change to positive for that operations. So I'm going to simplify these square root. 0 minus 3 is parentheses negative 3 square, and 3 plus 7, that's a 10 square. And then I'm going to simplify these expressions. So this is equal to negative 3 square becomes positive 9 plus 10 square is 100. Then I'm going to simplify the expression again. D is equal to square root of 109. How do we get the values? We have to pull out our graph calculator. And square root is the yellow symbol with x squared. So I'm going to put on second x squared and plug it in 109. Hit enter. It will be a value. So it's approximately D is approximately 10.44. We keep the two decimal places. So that's our answers for distance between point A and C. Second question is the same thing. We have to label x1, y1, x2, and y2. Same thing. We get the formula. D is equal to negative 3 minus 1 square plus negative 4 minus 4 square. Then we're going to simplify. I see double negatives again and it changed to positive. So this is equal to square root negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2 square plus negative 4 minus 4 is negative 8 square. And then we're going to simplify these expressions. Negative 2 parentheses square is 4. And negative 8 parentheses square is 6. So when we combine terms, distance is equal to square root of 68. And these are in radical. We can change it to the values. When you plug into the calculator, square root of 68 is 8 points. So I'm going to using two waves. This is approximation symbol. 8.246. When you round up 100th, it's 8.2. So that is a distance between point -1, 4 and negative 3 and negative 4. Alrighty. Next is about the distance, midpoint. So I'm going to pull our at midpoint. Same thing. We have to find the x1, y1, x2, and y2. So let's find the coordinates of point B. B is 6, 2, and point D is negative 8 for the x coordinates, and y coordinate is negative 3. And I'm going to label it again, x1, y1, x2, and y2. And remember, the midpoint formula is getting average between two coordinates for x and y. So actually the midpoint is, I'm going to write down MP, that is equal to 6 plus negative 8 over 2, 2 plus negative 3 over 2. Then I'm going to combine it. When I combine that, 6 plus negative 8 is negative 2 over 2, 2 plus negative 3. I'm sorry, it should be negative 4. It's very close to negative 4. I'm sorry. Negative 4, negative 4. 2 plus negative 4 is negative 2 over 2. So MP is equal to negative 1 and negative 1. Now, this question is a little bit challenging. I'm going to read the questions. M is the midpoint of segment AB. Find the coordinate of B. If the coordinate of A is 3, 7, and the midpoint is 5, 10. Now, the problem give you midpoint already. That means we have to find the one of the coordinates. So I can label it as this is a x1, x is a y coordinate, and I can initiate it. 3 is x1 and 7 is y1, which means we have to find the coordinates of x2 and y2. So I can set up equations for doing that for x coordinates. So for x coordinates, and I know midpoint is 5. So I'm going to set it up as 5 is equal to x1 is 3 plus x2. We don't know 2, so I'm going to put them in x2 and divide by 2. That gives you 5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to solve it for x2. So that means I have to times 2 on both sides. So 2 cancels out. 2 times 5 is 10 equal to 3 plus 2. And we're going to solve it. So I'm going to subtract both sides. 3's are cancels out. 10 minus 3 is a 7. That is equal to x2. And now we are going to do y coordinates as well. So we have a midpoint for y coordinates 10. So I'm going to set it as 10 is equal to y1 7. So 7 plus y2 over 2. That means that we have to times 2 times 2. 2 cancels out, and I'm going to calculate this. 2 times 10 is 20 equal to 7 plus y2. Then subtract 7, 7 on both sides. So y2 is 13. So actually the new point of, this is looking for coordinates of B, point B. So B is, I'm going to write them with a red pen. So point B is 7, 13. So that is a midpoint. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold it. I'm sure this is a midpoint formula. You have to fold it half of, not half of it, you have to fold it 1/4. And I want to write it down, midpoint formula, which is x1 plus x2 over and y1 plus y2 over 2. And I'm gonna fold it 1/4 of the distance. And you know distance formula is square root x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. That is a distance formula. Now I want to take out composition book, which is this. And from page, I want you looking at the very front page, we're gonna make table of content. So I want you to make a title with table of contents. I know last class, which is September 17, and we actually made a foldable for construction. I want to make a topic is construction foldable. The page number was 3. And today actually we made a distance midpoint formulas. So today is September 20th. I want to write it down, distance and midpoint. That's a page 4. So when you turn on the page, I know table content, this is page 1. So at the bottom, I'm going to make a note of page 1. And this is a page 2. And page 3. I know page 3, we made a construct on the left. On the right, it also page 3. I want you using both pages as the same. That's page 3. And turn over page 4. Actually, we had distance formula in hexagon form, but in midpoint as well. And on page 4, I want to paste with the glue. Place this foldable on your right hand side, page 4. Okay, and then we're gonna do practice on distance and midpoint.